First contact in the violet mist. The research outpost Horizon 9 sat perched on the edge of a crystalline cliff overlooking the vast violet mists that blanketed most of planet Nebulous. Dr. Aya Chen adjusted her atmospheric suit and checked the oxygen levels one final time before stepping into the decontamination chamber. Running off again into those pretty poison clouds? Asked Arya, the station's artificial intelligence system. Third expedition this week. Someone might think you're avoiding the quarterly reports. Aya smiled despite herself. Just following the xenobiology protocols, Arya. Those bio readings yesterday were off the charts. Something down there is definitely alive and possibly sentient, and possibly hungry, Arya added helpfully. Your vitals will be monitored continuously. Dr. Chen, please try not to become something's dinner. The paperwork would be extensive. The outer door hissed open, revealing the alien landscape beyond massive crystal formations jutted from the planet's surface, reflecting the light of the twin suns overhead, creating rainbows that danced across the rocky terrain. The violet mist swirled below, like an ocean of colored smoke. Mysterious and inviting, Aya activated her hover sled and began her descent into the mist. Her heart raced with anticipation as the violet haze enveloped her. It wasn't just the potential discovery that excited her, but the escape from the monotony of outpost life, from the memories of Earth that still haunted her. 3 years on this remote planet, and she still couldn't outrun her past. The mist grew thicker as she descended, visibility dropping to mere meters. Her instruments began to behave erratically, readings fluctuating wildly. Strange, she muttered to herself. The electromagnetic interference is stronger today. Something moved in the mist ahead, a darker shadow within the violet swirls. Aya slowed the hover sled, following scientific protocol for potential contact situations, but her curiosity overrode caution as she leaned forward, straining to see. The shadow solidified, taking form as it approached. Aya's breath caught in her throat. It was bipedal, tall, elegant, with a distinctly feminine form. The being's skin was a deep, luminescent purple with patterns that seemed to shift and flow like the mist itself. 2 large, iridescent eyes regarded her with unmistakable intelligence. Hello? Aya said softly, activating her universal translator. I am Dr. Aya Chen from Earth Research Outpost Horizon 9. I come in peace. The being tilted her head, ornate appendages that might have been ears or sensory organs shifting slightly. She stepped closer with liquid grace, her movements unlike anything Aya had ever seen. The alien raised a hand with the correct number of digits, though they were longer, more elegant than human fingers, and touched the surface of Aya's helmet. You breathe differently. The being spoke, her voice somehow bypassing the helmet's audio system and resonating directly in Aya's mind. Your kind always hiding behind barriers. Aya gasped. You speak my language. I speak to your mind, the alien corrected. Words are primitive but serviceable. I am Nyxara, Queen of the Nebulae. This world is ours, yet you cluster on its surface like insects on fruit. We mean no harm, Aya said quickly, her scientific training kicking in. We're researchers studying the planet's unique properties. We didn't know it was inhabited. Nyxara's expression shifted, something like amusement crossing her features. You did not look beneath the mist. Your kind rarely looks beneath the surface. She moved closer, her presence commanding. I have watched your outpost for many cycles. I have chosen you, Aya Chen. Chosen me for what purpose? The alien queen reached forward again, her fingers leaving faint glowing trails on the helmet's surface. My people face extinction. Our genetic diversity wanes with each cycle. We require new patterns. Her eyes seemed to look through Aya rather than at her. You will be my consort. This union will save my people and protect yours. Aya felt her heart hammer against her ribs. That's not how first contact protocols work. We need diplomatic channels, cultural exchange, scientific. Time grows short, Nyxara interrupted. Others of your kind approach with machines that will tear open our world. They seek the crystals that sustain us. I have made my decision. She leaned forward, her face nearly touching Aya's helmet. I will give you time to consider, but know this, human, I have selected you and you alone. The Queen's hand pressed against the helmet, and Aya felt a strange warmth spread through her mind. Images flashing before her eyes, vast crystal cities beneath the mist, beings of purple light dancing, among structures of impossible beauty, and at the center a great pulsing crystal heart connected to everything. Return to your outpost, Nyxara whispered. When the second sun sets tomorrow, come alone to this place. I await your answer. As suddenly, as she had appeared, the alien queen dissolved back into the mist, leaving Aya floating on her hoversled, heart pounding and mind reeling with questions. The scientific discovery of the century had just occurred, and somehow it had turned into a proposal of marriage from an alien queen. Her communicator crackled to life. Dr. Chen. Commander Cooper's voice cut through her daze. Your bio-readings just went haywire. Are you injured? Aya took a deep breath, trying to compose herself. No, Commander, I'm fine. Just encountered some unusual electromagnetic phenomena. I'm heading back now. As she guided the hoversled upward toward the outpost, Aya couldn't shake the feeling that her life, and perhaps the future of two species, had just irrevocably changed. The violet mist swirled around her, keeping its secrets, but one thought remained clear. The alien queen had touched her face and whispered, "You will be my husband." And nothing would ever be the same again. The royal proposal. The decontamination chamber hissed as Aya stepped through the inner doors of Horizon 9. Her hands trembled slightly as she removed her helmet, revealing a face flushed with excitement and apprehension. Commander Alex Cooper stood waiting, arms crossed, and expression stern. 4 hours in the mist, Chen, he said, checking the chronometer on his wrist. That's well beyond protocol limits, and your vital signs were all over the place. What happened down there? Aya hesitated, weighing her options. The revelation of sentient life on Nebulus would change everything. But Nyxara's words about others approaching with machines gave her pause. Something political was unfolding, something potentially dangerous. I discovered some unusual crystalline formations. She replied carefully. They seem to interact with the electromagnetic field in ways we haven't documented. Before I lost track of time. Cooper's eyes narrowed slightly. That doesn't explain the spike in your neural activity. The sensors in your suit registered levels consistent with intense communication or stimulation. The crystals emit patterns, Aya improvised. Almost like they're trying to communicate. I might have been affected by prolonged exposure. Dr. Vendra. Cooper called over his shoulder. Your colleague needs a full medical scan. Possible neural contamination. Dr. Kai Vendra appeared from the lab area, his perpetually disheveled appearance. A stark contrast to Cooper's military precision. Kai's eyes lit up with concern as he approached Aya. What happened? Did you touch something? Did something touch you? Aya allowed herself to be guided toward the medical bay. Nothing dangerous, Kai. Just some unusual readings. I promise I'm fine. The medical scanner hummed as it passed. Over her body, Kai studied the results with increasing confusion. Your brain chemistry shows elevated levels of oxytocin and dopamine. Similar to, he lowered his voice, similar to romantic attraction, and there's some kind of residual electromagnetic signature I've never seen before. Interesting, Aya replied, keeping her voice neutral. Must be the crystal exposure, Kai's expression said. He didn't believe her, but before he could press further, the outpost alarm blared. Arya's voice echoed through the facility. Attention all personnel, incoming vessel detected. Earth Colonial Authority designation, approaching docking procedures in 30 minutes. Cooper cursed under his breath. That's 2 weeks early. We're not ready for inspection. It's not scheduled inspection. Communications specialist Isabel Rodriguez entered the medical bay, her face tight with worry. It's the mining. Vessel Helios Captain Sarah Ishida commanding. They're claiming extraction rights to the northern crystal fields. Aya felt her blood run cold. The northern fields where she'd just met Nyxara where the alien queen had shown her mental images of her civilization built around the very crystals these miners sought to harvest. "They can't," she blurted out. "Those crystals could be vital to the ecosystem." Cooper turned to her with surprise. "Since when are you concerned with crystal formations?" "Chen, you're our xenobiologist. Everything's connected in an alien ecosystem, Commander." She recovered quickly. "We need more research before any mining operations begin." Cooper studied her for a moment. "You're acting strange, Chen. Get some rest. The Colonial Authority has already approved preliminary surveys for the Helios crew. We'll discuss scientific objections at the briefing tomorrow." After Cooper left, Kai approached her, voice low. "What really happened in the mist, Aya? You've never been a good liar." Aya looked at her friend of 3 years, the man who'd been by her side through every discovery and disappointment on this remote outpost. If there was anyone she could trust, it would be Kai. "I need you to keep an open mind," she whispered. "And I need your help." Later in her quarters, Aya paced nervously as Kai processed everything she'd told him. His expression had shifted from disbelief to amazement to concern. "An alien civilization," he repeated, "living beneath the mist, and their queen wants to marry you." "Not marriage exactly," Aya corrected. "More like a genetic alliance. She called it being her consort." "And you believe her?" "She was in my mind, Kai." Aya tapped her temple. "She showed me their cities, their culture, their entire civilization is built around and within those crystal formations, and now the Helios is here to tear it all apart." Kai ran a hand through his already messy hair. "If what you're saying is true, we need to report this immediately. The Colonial Authority has strict protocols for first contact situations. And what if they decide these aliens are an obstacle to resource extraction?" Aya countered. "You know how these corporations operate. They could declare them non-sentient or dangerous to justify mining operations. So, what's your plan? Meet the alien queen again and become her royal consort?" Aya looked out her window at the swirling violet mist below. "I don't know, but I can't ignore what I saw. Nixara chose me specifically. She believes I can help prevent a conflict between our species." Kai placed a hand on her shoulder. "You're a scientist, not a diplomat. This isn't your responsibility. Someone has to be first, Kai. Someone has to bridge the gap." She turned to face him, determination in her eyes. "I'm going back. Tomorrow night, will you cover for me?" Before Kai could answer, Aria's voice interrupted. "Dr. Chen, Commander Cooper requests your presence in the briefing room. The Helios has docked." The briefing room was crowded with unfamiliar faces as Aya entered. Mining specialists in corporate uniforms clustered around holographic displays of the crystal formations. Security personnel with sidearms stood at attention, their presence an unsettling change from the research outpost's usually relaxed atmosphere. At the center stood Captain Sarah Ishida, tall and imposing in her black Helios uniform. Gold insignia glinted on her collar as she gestured to the crystal mappings. The northern fields show the highest concentration of crystalline structures with quantum entanglement properties. Ishida was saying, "Initial surveys suggest we can extract approximately 70% without disturbing the structural integrity of the surrounding terrain." "And what about the biological impact?" Aya interrupted, drawing all eyes to her. "Those crystals could be integral to the local ecosystem." Ishida's smile didn't reach her eyes. "Dr. Chen, I presume your reputation precedes you." "Brilliant but somewhat idealistic from what I hear." "Cautious," Aya corrected. "We've barely scratched the surface in understanding this planet. Which is why the Colonial Authority has assigned the Helios to accelerate the process." Cooper interjected. "Captain Ishida's team has extensive experience with minimal impact extraction." "Minimal impact," Ishida agreed. "Though I should note our scanning equipment detected unusual electromagnetic activity in the northern fields. Something interfering with our deeper scans." Aya felt her heart rate increase. "All the more reason to delay extraction until we understand what's happening." "Or all the more reason to proceed with caution but determination," Ishida countered. "The quantum properties of these crystals could revolutionize interstellar communication." Dr. Chen, surely you appreciate the significance. The meeting continued, but Aya barely heard the technical details of extraction schedules and processing facilities. Her mind was filled with images Nixara had shared, the beautiful alien civilization that existed just beneath their feet, a civilization now facing an existential threat. As the briefing ended, Ishida approached her directly. "Walk with me, Dr. Chen. I believe we got off on the wrong foot." Reluctantly, Aya fell into step beside the captain as they moved through the corridor. "Your concern for this planet is admirable," Ishida said, "but you should know that my orders come directly from Earth's highest levels. The resource crisis hasn't improved since you left home. 3 colony worlds have already faced famine due to supply chain disruptions, so we solve our problems by potentially creating new ones." Ishida stopped, turning to face her directly. "What aren't you telling us, Dr. Chen? You reacted quite strongly in there, almost as if you know something about those crystal fields that the rest of us don't." Aya met her gaze steadily. "I'm a scientist, Captain. My job is to ask questions before we take irreversible actions, and my job is to secure resources that billions of people depend on." Ishida's voice softened slightly. "I'm not a villain, Dr. Chen, just someone trying to keep civilization running." She checked her wrist device. "Extraction preparations begin tomorrow. First test drilling commences at sunset." Sunset. The exact time Nixara had asked Aya to return. Ishida walked away. Aya felt the weight of responsibility settle onto her shoulders. The fate of an alien civilization might rest in her hands. And she had less than 24 hours to decide what to do about it. That night, as the first of Nebulus's twin suns dipped below the horizon, Aya stood at her window looking out at the violet mist. Tomorrow she would have to choose between her loyalty to humanity and a mysterious alien queen who had touched her face and whispered, an invitation that could change everything forever. Worlds between us. The second sunset painted Nebulus in gold and crimson as Aya slipped away from the outpost Kai had reluctantly agreed to cover for her absence, logging her presence in the lab while she ventured into the mist. 2 hours, he had whispered, "Then I'm coming after you." The hover sled descended silently through layers of violet haze, Aya's heart pounding with each meter. The mist seemed to recognize her parting, as if welcoming her return. Nixara awaited at the same location, her purple form materializing from the swirling vapors. "You came," she said, her voice flowing directly into Aya's mind. "I sensed your conflict, yet hoped you would choose this path." "I came for answers, not to agree to your proposal," Aya replied, removing her helmet despite safety protocols. The air felt strangely breathable, sweet with an exotic scent. "Your people are in danger. Mining operations begin tomorrow." Nixara's expression darkened. "Then time grows shorter than anticipated. Come." She extended a hand. "I will show you what you need to understand." Aya hesitated only briefly before taking the alien's hand. An electric sensation coursed through her at the contact. The world around them shifted, the mist parting to reveal a hidden pathway downward through crystalline tunnels. "The crystals are not mere formations," Nixara explained as they descended. "They are neural pathways, conduits for our collective consciousness. Our civilization exists within them as much as around them." The tunnel opened into a vast underground cavern that took Aya's breath away. Massive crystal structures rose like buildings, their facets glowing with inner light. Purple-hued beings moved among them with the same fluid grace as their queen. Some turned to stare at Aya with curious iridescent eyes. "A human," one whispered, the thought reaching Aya clearly. "The queen brings a human among us. This is our central nexus." Nixara guided her toward a massive crystal formation at the center of the cavern, the heart of our consciousness. "Our past, present, and future reside here." Aya watched in awe as patterns of light flowed through the crystal like blood through veins. "It's beautiful," she breathed, "and the mining operation would destroy it, not just destroy," Nixara corrected. "Shatter our collective mind, our very existence. You understand now why I sought you out." Your kind responds to emotional connections, not just logical arguments, and that's why you proposed a union between us. Nixara's eyes met hers. Partly my people need genetic diversity to survive. Generations of isolation have weakened us, but also because I sensed something in you, Aya Chen. Something rare among your kind. Empathy without boundary. The ability to see beyond your own species. There must be another way, Aya said. We could reveal your existence, request protection under colonial law. Would your laws protect what they covet? Nixara gestured to the crystals. Your captain Ishida follows orders to secure these resources at any cost. We have observed your kind for generations. Negotiations rarely favor those with what you desire. A young nebulae child approached shyly, offering Aya a small glowing crystal. The gesture touched her unexpectedly. She accepted. It with a smile that needed no translation. My union with you would create a bridge. Nixara continued. Our offspring would carry both genetic lines, creating a biological claim your laws would recognize. The mining would halt and proper diplomatic channels could form. And what about what I want? Aya asked softly. Did you consider that? Nixara touched her face gently, fingers tracing Aya's cheekbone. I chose you because I sensed your loneliness, your search for connection, your heart calls for belonging just as mine does. Is it so terrible to consider finding it with me? The moment stretched between them, intimate and charged with possibility, until alarms began to sound throughout the crystal city. They've begun. A nebulae messenger rushed toward them. Surface machines breached the northern field, the network fractures. Across the cavern, crystals began to dim and flicker. Nebulae clutched their heads in pain. It begins. Nixara's face contorted in anguish. The destruction they call extraction. Meanwhile, on the surface, Kai frantically searched for Aya, his hover sled skirting the edges of the massive drilling platforms deployed by the Helios crew. Anything. Cooper's voice crackled through his communicator. Nothing yet, Kai responded. But these mining operations are causing massive electromagnetic disturbances. I can barely keep instruments functioning. Find her, Cooper ordered. Ishida is asking questions about her absence. And Kai, something strange is happening. With the crystals, they're responding to the drills almost as if they're alive. Kai finished as the first crystal structure shattered beneath the Helios drills. The mist above began to swirl violently. A storm was brewing both below and above, as two worlds collided with Aya caught in the middle. Her decision, now more urgent than ever. In the crystal city, Nixara turned to her violet eyes intense. Now you see the truth of our existence, Aya Chen. What is your answer? Will you stand with your people or mine? Or will you find a way to stand between? The Violet Revolution. Chaos erupted through the crystal city. As tremors shook the underground structures, nebulae scattered in panic, while Nixara maintained regal composure, despite the pain etched on her features. We must stop this now, Aya insisted. Take me back to the surface. I'll speak with Captain Ishida. Words may come too late, Nixara warned. My people prepare defensive measures. Even now the mist responds to our collective distress. On the surface, violent storms had indeed formed. The violet mist swirled into tornadic formations, striking mining equipment with precise electromagnetic pulses. The Helios crew scrambled for cover as machinery failed around them. What in hell's name is happening? Sarah Ishida demanded, sheltering beneath a half-constructed drilling platform. This isn't natural. Kai appeared from the mist, his hover sled barely functioning. Captain, you need to stop the drilling. The crystals are connected to a sentient civilization I believe Dr. Chen discovered. Them and is trying to make contact. Ishida's face hardened. More eco-scientist nonsense. These resources are claimed by colonial authority. You have no proof of sentient life. Then explain the targeted electromagnetic attacks. Kai gestured to the precision strikes, disabling only mining equipment while leaving research gear untouched. Something intelligent is defending itself. Back underground, Aya followed Nixara to a chamber housing what appeared to be a control nexus crystalline interfaces. pulsed with urgent patterns as nebulae operators coordinated the surface defense. "You're attacking my people," Aya realized. "Disabling, not harming," Nixara corrected. "But soon the elders will call for stronger measures. Extinction brings desperate choices." Their eyes met in understanding. Without words, Nixara extended her hand. Aya took it, feeling the same electric connection, but deeper now. A mental link formed, images flowing between them. Aya saw the millennia of nebulae history, their harmony with the planet, their hopes, fears, and determination to survive, and Nixara saw Earth humanity's struggles, triumphs, and desperate resource needs, the families and children depending on the very crystals that sustained her people. "There is another way," Aya whispered, a plan forming. "The crystals propagate, correct, they grow. Yes, over centuries, but with the right conditions, perhaps faster." Aya's scientific mind raced. "My people need the quantum properties, not specific crystals. What if we could cultivate new growths, sustainable harvesting?" Nixara's eyes widened. A symbiosis rather than extraction. Meanwhile, Ishida ordered security teams to prepare pulse weapons. "Whatever's causing this, we're taking it out. Prepare to fire on the year." "Missed concentrations, Captain, stop." Commander Cooper appeared, his uniform soaked from the storm. "We're detecting massive life signs beneath the crystal fields. Sentient, organized, intelligent life." "Convenient timing." "Cooper," Ishida scoffed. "Colonial Authority confirmed no sentient signatures." "Their scans didn't penetrate the mist," Cooper countered. "But the storm's electromagnetic properties are actually enhancing our readings. Something's down there. Something we're hurting." Kai stepped forward, and Aya's with them, hearts across the stars. Dawn broke over Nebulous as the storm abruptly ceased. The mining crews emerged from shelter, bewildered by the sudden calm. Then the mist parted, revealing an extraordinary sight. Aya Chen emerged walking, side by side with a regal purple-skinned being. Their hands intertwined behind them. Several other nebulae followed, each carrying small crystal specimens that pulsed with inner light. "Captain Ishida." "Commander Cooper." Aya called, her voice steady, with newfound purpose. "I present Queen Nixara of the Nebulae, sovereign ruler of the crystal networks and this planet's true inhabitants." Ishida's hand moved toward her sidearm, but Cooper stopped her. "Let's hear them out. Captain, first contact. Protocol supersedes mining directives." "These crystals," Aya continued as Nixara presented the specimens, "contain the same quantum properties you seek. They're cultivated offshoots, renewable resources that can be harvested without destroying the main networks." "Impossible." Ishida eyed the crystals suspiciously. "Our analysts determined the formations couldn't be replicated." "Your analysts didn't have nebulae bioengineering knowledge," Aya replied. "Queen Nixara offers a trade agreement. Sustainable crystal harvesting in exchange for recognition of nebulae sovereignty and protection of their core networks." "And what exactly is your role in this arrangement, Dr. Chen?" Ishida asked, noting their joined hands. Aya and Nixara exchanged a look filled with newfound understanding. "I've accepted a position as interspecies ambassador," Aya answered. "The first human to join the Nebulae Collective, a bridge between our worlds." "She will be my consort," Nixara added, her melodic thoughts now audible to all present through a crystal translator. "Our union brings hope to both our peoples, a new future where neither must suffer for the other's survival." Cooper stepped forward, examining the offered crystals. "Colonial authority won't like negotiations happening without their representatives. Then they should have looked beneath the mist before claiming this world," Aya countered. "The choice now is simple: cooperation or conflict." 1 week later, Horizon 9 had transformed the research outpost, now served as the first interspecies diplomatic headquarters. Crystal cultivation chambers stood alongside human laboratories. Nebulae scientists worked with human researchers, developing new technologies born from their combined knowledge. In Aya's quarters, now significantly modified with crystal integrations, she and Nixara stood watching the twin suns set. The colonial authority finally approved the preliminary agreement, Aya said, setting aside her communication tablet. They're sending an ambassador. Next month. Will they honor our boundaries? They'll try to push, but they need what we're offering too badly to risk conflict. Aya turned to face her partner. The first cultivated crystal shipment amazed their scientists. Apparently it's twice as efficient as they expected. Nixara's fingers traced the new neural interface at Aya's temple, a crystalline implant that deepened their connection. And you feel no regret about your choice. Aya smiled, taking the Queen's hands in hers. I was searching for new life forms. When I found you, I found something more. A new purpose. A new home. And love. Nixara added, her purple features softening. Yes, and love. Aya agreed, leaning forward to touch her forehead to Nixara's, completing their mental connection. Who would have thought it would begin with an alien queen touching my face and whispering, "Human, you will be my husband." They laughed together, their minds and hearts intertwined as the violet mist swirled around Horizon 9. No longer a barrier between worlds, but a beautiful reminder of how the unknown can transform into the most precious discovery of all. Outside, Kai and Isabel watched the mists dance from the observation deck. You think it will last? Isabel asked. This peace between our peoples. Kai smiled, watching as two children, one human, one nebulae, played together near the crystal gardens. With those two leading the way, I'd bet on it. They've shown us something remarkable, that sometimes the greatest discoveries aren't things or places but connections, those bridges we build across the stars. As night fell on Nebulus, the crystal networks glowed with renewed vigor, their light a testament to the unexpected truth that sometimes salvation comes, not from conquest or submission, but from the courage to reach across differences and whisper, "I choose you," even when separated by worlds.